Welcome to Crosby's Crew.
Welcome back to Crosby's Crew, and this is a Super Bowl Super Championship episode right here. And as we do, we warm up with white wine every episode, and we will start with a toast. So, two champions, dynasties, and Super Tuscans, because winning doesn't always follow the rules.
Ooh, I like that.
Especially when the Patriots play.
Cheers.
Keep that thought for
Cheers,
later.
guys.
Yeah, don't worry. That was foreshadowing, if you will.
So in this episode, we are really excited to be sitting down with Keith and Holly Emerson. Just a reminder of our wine experts and how they are guiding us through all this. Keith is a Napa Valley winemaker and industry leader who has served as president, CEO, and director of winemaking at Vineyard 29, while also overseeing lots of other projects, but namely Keith and Holly's personal brand. There is At Large, which we have decided that our permanent white wine warm-ups for each episode are going to be the At Large Chardonnay.
That's right.
Perfect. And then Holly also is a driving force behind the Emerson Brown brand. That's hard to say. Emerson Brown brand. And together they keep our train on the rails. So that's really exciting.
Yep.
And so in this episode,
it's a big job.
It is. Especially with how much wine we had last night.
Are we saying that?
We went Napa Valley style dinner last night, or like hangout. We had
Lots of things open.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was just like, we'll send you a picture later, but it was a while. It was a fun one. And we thought of y'all the whole time, because it was like, this is Napa-esque for opening bottles and just sharing and different things.
Yeah, it was great. Really fun. Not as fun today. So that's the truth. But we're gonna be drawing parallels between rule breaking wines and Mason's Super Bowl XLV team. You guys were injured, the lowest playoff seed, nothing like a typical champion, nothing typical about that. Yet you guys held the trophy at the end. So we're going to talk about how Super Tuscans went from outsiders to icons, reflect on what it takes to win when the odds are stacked against you, hear from Keith and Holly on the Patriots' first appearance back in the big game since the Brady-Belichick dynasty, and make our picks for who wins it all in wine and in football. So that's what's exciting this week. I literally just asked if we could do an episode on Super Tuscans because it had the word super in it, like Super Bowl. And now we've all ended up learning so much. So from rebel wines to unlikely champions, this episode is going to pair football's biggest stage with one of Italy's boldest wines. Keith and Holly, what are we drinking today?
All right. We are diving in, like you said, to the world of Super Tuscans for the Super Bowl. I'm not sure that we have the exact same wines. I don't think we do today.
The first one we do.
We do? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So the first wine that we're going to taste is a Monte Antico. It's a Super Tuscan. It's a Monte Antico Toscana IGT wine. And I say that because we're going to get into it and the whole how Super Tuscans came about and the origin of it and all that fun stuff. But just so you know, the designation of this wine is Toscana IGT. So it's a Tuscan wine. This is Monte Antico is primarily Sangiovese. That's the grape. But it has a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon and a little bit of Merlot in there. 10% Cab, 5% Merlot. So again, we'll dive into the whole Super Tuscan thing in a few minutes. But the second wine that we have is it's called Poggio al Merli. And this is a wine that is also considered a Super Tuscan, but ironically, it's 100% Merlot. So we thought that would be
Hold for
really
applause.
fun. Yeah. Here, for those of you who are watching, I'll show you the bottles first. That's the Monte Antico.
Super easy, approachable, easy to find, great price point when you're learning.
Screw cap, $14. Yummy.
Easy.
Unfortunately, today I am the blind taster, so I'm not going to be able. Yeah, so you better.
Yeah, you can taste.
Keith, Holly, y'all give me all the information. I'm working.
Oh no, I think it's good. I think it's good for him to have the descriptors.
Oh, I need all of them because I got to know what
he needs the clues.
Oh, okay. All right.
He needs the clues.
This is good.
We'll cheat. That's good. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Just a little help, yeah.
Oh man!
I mean, should I give you some hand signals and you can try to
exactly.
we'll get some hand signals.
I know where you are going with this.
Deflate a ball. Oh man! All the gates.
All the gates.
I'm sure the Pats have some dude like up in the stadium with a camera watching the Seahawks practice right now.
Exactly.
All right. Sorry. So the second wine is this Poggio al Merli. And what I just thought it was kind of cool because Super Tuscans don't necessarily have to have Sangiovese in them. A lot of them do. But they could be Merlot, they could be Cab Franc, they could be a blend of Sangio, Cab, and Merlot, anything like that. So that's the second wine. And then the third wine that we have.
We love a loose theme.
Yeah. The third wine that we have, and I think this will make more sense once we explain more about Super Tuscans, but this is a domestic red. So this is a wine that Holly and I make called Perry's Big Red Blend.
Yeah.
So Perry's is a wonderful steakhouse chain, and we are fortunate enough to make their red blend for them. And we made about 500 cases of this. This is the 2023 vintage, and it, like a Super Tuscan, is a blend of different grape varieties. It's primarily Cabernet Sauvignon, a little over 70% Cab, but I used Merlot, quite a bit of Merlot, and then a little bit in sprinkles, a little bit of Petit Verdot, Cabernet Franc, and Malbec. So all 5 of those Bordeaux varieties are in this Perry's Big Red Blend. We felt like it was appropriate to put alongside these Super Tuscans. What do you guys have?
Well, Keith,
you can't tell me.
So, well, one segue. Or one kind of side note on this Perry's Big Red Blend is, I go to pick it up at Perry's general manager, not knowing why or what, we were doing. And we got talking, but he just said, this is by far like our best, blended our wine from a winemaker, their label, Perry's label. He was just like, I love this. And I was like,
that's so nice.
Let me tell you a little bit about why I'm picking this up and what we're doing. So hopefully Nathaniel there at Perry's and Franklin will jump on and listen to the show.
I love it. This is our first year. Perry's has had this wine on their list for a long time, and this is our first year taking over the project. So this is our first and hopefully definitely not our last for Perry. So it's been really fun. It's a much bigger project than 2 little guys like us would normally take on. It normally, and some of their other wines go to another very amazing, famous wine house that is much, much bigger than us. So this has been a really fun project for us, and it did seem to make sense.
Yeah, and I am at the moment fine-tuning the 2024 blend. So we'll have one shortly to follow. We'll be bottling that in just a couple months. But this was a pleasure to make. It was a lot of fun, and Perry's have been awesome to work with. So,
Yep. Well, it all harkens back to the beginning and the first time we met when you connected the dots for me latitudinally. Is that a word?
Totally. It is now.
I think it was an Oregon Pinot Noir and a French Bordeaux. And so for me, when you make those connections of why...
A French Burgundy.
Dang it. See, we need to go back and do that episode again.
Well, we're talking about Bordeaux varietal, so I got you.
Yes.
But French Burgundy.
But when you made that connection, that was a big light bulb moment for me, because now it's like, okay, if I know I like this, then it's at least just a little clue when you're sitting staring at a wine list in a restaurant that, well, I don't know that I like this wine, but I'm willing to try it with a little bit more like boldness. We only have one wine that differs, and we went and grabbed it because when Holly and I were talking through the episode, she name dropped 2 bottles that she said were, kind of like Super Bowl-esque in this Super Tuscan conversation. And then she convinced me to sell her one of them. I actually think you wanted me to sell her both of them. So that's not happening. But
it's a little young to be drinking.
we're very brash. But we
We're
have
wild cards. It's all right.
in this little
That's
middle
why we have you.
glass, we have Sassicaia. Is that how you say it?
Ooh la la, mamma mia.
You have Sassicaia?
They're a fancy pants.
Right here.
And Keith was
We
like,
went
why
big
don't
for
we
this.
have
We went
Sassicaia?
big for the Super Bowl. It's like we bring out the rings and we
Wow.
bring out the big gun wine.
And
so.
big guns.
Technically, for a wine like that, ideally you're buying a case of it. Ideally, you're drinking it now. You're drinking it in a few years, in a few
wanna
months,
try
in a
it
few
now.
years, and really, it is almost. I love that you cellared in Ornellaia, but it is for when you're looking at collectible wines. Ideally, in a perfect world where potentially like Lotto is concerned, you buy multiple bottles and see how that same wine, that same vintage evolves over many, many years. So,
Wow. I love that. It's a mindset that I don't have, but I'm hoping to acquire as a training wine athlete.
Exactly.
It's good. But you can go
Wine
ahead and
patience
you held up
is not
the,
a thing for Molly.
You held up the Ornellaia. Do you have the Sassicaia as well? Can you hold that one up?
do.
I just want to see the label.
okay, you're drinking the Sassicaia right now.
You're drinking
though.
this one, right?
Okay. Ooh,
Awesome.
she's
Yep,
an
that's the
icon.
one.
What do they do like on Instagram? Don't they like?
Oh yeah, don't they do like I don't know.
Well, it's
If there's 4 people that are not influencers, it's 4 of us.
Right here. Yeah.
And then the other
we're
wines you
influencing.
have are the Monte Antico and the Perry's red wine blend, right?
That's right.
Cool. All right. We're on the same page. I love it.
All right, Nolan.
Can we dive in
Nolan.
right there and tell you a little bit about the origins of
before the blind?
Super Tuscans?
Oh no.
Should we do the blind?
Well,
Oh, yeah, sure. Go for
yeah.
it.
Molly
Let's do the
just
blind
like,
test.
Take a
Molly
short
wants
walk.
the
Do I
point,
have to
so
take
she's
my
like,
earbud
don't
out?
tell Mason enough.
I do. We
Wait,
we
so what do
scored.
you-
Honey, you're just gonna go face that way for a
don't
minute.
like being
It's
in
a game. It's a game. Okay, here's the problem though: is how am I gonna remember which one is which? I have an idea. I do have a plan.
She's a mom. She knows.
Wait, I did just forget what I did. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just give me a second. Okay,
Molly, you're
and
the
then I'm
cutest.
gonna do.
Poggio is good.
Oh yeah, do we get to drink that? Okay.
It's so silky.
Oh, I love.
All right, Mace, come on back. Here's your little earbud.
Oh man. All right.
Seamless.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm so nervous. I'm very sure of what is what. I got it.
You got
All
this,
right.
Mace.
What do
Good
we? All right.
luck.
Let's do this. All right. I'm gonna use my strong hand.
Shoulders back, smash it.
Yep.
Ah, yes, Keith. I love it. Okay. Where
All right,
am I
talk
start?
him
You want me to
through.
start left to
You
right?
can do whatever you want.
You have
Okay.
to coach him, Keith.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, you got it. Okay. I mean,
You do
I'm
they
over
know
here
which
wanting you
one
to
is
lose.
which? So like,
Check
you
out the
need to-
color,
gonna
my friend.
They're gonna tell you about the
Okay.
wines.
You
and-
start talking it through,
Keith
and I'm
is
gonna
going to
start.
coach you through it.
Check out the color on all 3. Compare the color and line them up from lightest to darkest, from left to right.
They're all
Wait,
so-
you can't line. You can't switch the order.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, good point. Good point.
Don't do that.
they're
But
so
take-
Just
unique.
know which one's the lightest
Mentally
and which
line
one's the
them up
darkest.
from lightest to darkest.
I think they're already there, so that's good.
Okay.
We're already
Good.
in that line.
Molly's helping you.
They are all
This looks so hard.
very similar. Like it's not.
I know we
there's
got the
not
easy
like
ones,
a-
Molls.
What's
there's
next?
not-
What's the next
seriously,
S?
Molly's were like completely different.
No,
All right.
that's all
What's
right.
the
Gonna
next
smell?
S in your
Smell?
To smell.
Sniff?
You got it.
Okay.
Is it smell or
You know
sniff?
the blend of the Sassicaia.
Yeah.
Why don't you
I know
tell
the 2 varieties in it.
tell Mason the blend on Sassicaia?
Well, the 2 varieties in Sassicaia, I don't know the exact blend of what, I don't even know what
That is
vintage they
so
have. but,
different.
the 2 varieties are in Sassicaia are Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc. So there's actually no Sangiovese in that wine. Never has been. 1968 was the first bottling of Sassicaia.
So only one wine in your lineup has some Sangiovese in it.
Yep.
The other
think I have an
2
idea
are
already
Bordeaux
just from
varietals.
What? Okay, I wrote it down here, Mason.
Okay. Now, am I tasting?
And remember
Yeah.
the Sangio one is that the Monte Antico. And so, which means ancient mountain. But that one is going to be more red fruit driven. Remember, we talk about reds, blues, and blacks. Sangio is more red fruit driven.
And also just price point wise, that's the least expensive. And so not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's maybe going to be less complex than the others.
It's actually really good.
It's absolutely delicious. I think it's such a fun
$14.99.
representation.
However, in my little notes, I said that was like your general admission ticket into the game.
Yeah. It was so smart.
Totally.
That was so
like
smart.
You're in the game.
Yeah, you're not in the boxes.
Yeah, but one of your wines
but you're there.
The boxes.
All right. I already know.
What? How can you know?
If you want to talk me through some more things, because that's fun, but I already know.
You know what makes you confident? Wearing a Super Bowl ring.
Well, that's true. I'm going to send it, and then I'll probably argue why you're wrong, even though you picked them. But like if I miss one, it's just guys, blame the snap,
he's
blame
wearing
the hold,
a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I have that privilege today as we're doing this episode. All right. So
sure.
do you want me to give my educated?
I do.
Yes? All right.
That's what we're here for.
Give
the people what they want.
I'm going to tell you why it kind of became apparent to me.
Perfect.
For me, so it was right on the nose. I kind of like started figuring out what I thought they were. And this middle one gave it away quite a bit because it is ripe and like, okay. This one's definitely the red top. What is that one?
That is correct.
Yeah. And it's just because it's like, it's fresh and ripe. And like, you can just kind of tell right away that
so which
it's
one
not
was that
like
one?
a big, bold,
okay.
What was that one called?
Monte.
It's the Monte
Antico.
Antico.
Yeah.
Really, I love the taste. Honestly, the smell and the nose wasn't like I could tell it was that one, but when I tasted it, I was like, oh man, all right. I like how it tastes.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of it has a nice spice element to it, and I feel like some of that is the barrel influence. But I get like strawberry and rhubarb.
Yeah, I would never pick this wine up. I would never think to get this, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's exactly.
I get the strawberry.
Thanks, Wine Access.
All right, which one do you want me to go with, Molly?
This is your world, honey.
Well, I'm going to go with the first one, and I love a Super Tuscan. The old Sassicaia.
Got the eyebrows going. That is also correct.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Right.
Look at this guy.
Man,
and then
he doesn't
our
even need
good
any
friends, Perry's Big Old Red right here.
Do you feel like you could find
Does it stand up?
Emerson wine?
Oh, I love it. Honestly, right when I tasted it, like I was going to say something weird. When I tasted it, I tasted Keith.
Stylistically,
it
yes,
anyway.
It's a very stylistic.
But no, like
Keith
when
wine.
I tasted,
hey.
when I tasted it, I was like, yeah, that's a Keith wine. That's the cab, and like it's everything we've tried.
Compliment.
I mean, we had a crew last night. Like we had the crew last night from Vineyard 29.
Perfect.
It's
Another
just like
blend.
It's just so familiar, right? Like as you taste it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think we've talked about this in the past. We make a lot of wines at Vineyard 29. I've been making those wines for 21 years now. And there's something similar about the Bordeaux varieties, the blends. Honestly, beyond that, even the Zin program, there's something similar about all the wines. We bottle 47 wines a year. All the reds, all the wines that we make at Vineyard 29, there's something similar, and it's texture. It's all about texture. It's about polish, about velvety texture, and that's the thread. No matter what vineyard it comes from, our gentle handling and our fancy gravity flow equipment and everything, and meticulous attention to detail, it yields a certain texture in the wine.
Oh, that sounds like a commercial, but it actually is very true.
And I get that too in this Perry's for sure.
Yeah. No, it's so pretty.
Are you sure it wasn't that I had
since
him
we
lined
bottled it? So it's fun.
over here in the order.
I didn't really look at that.
Stop trying to accuse him of cheating. He nailed those wines. If his descriptors didn't match his answers, I would also accuse of cheating. But
me and my team
very
were
impressive,
not.
Mason. Very impressive.
Me and my team were not accused of cheating ever on the football field. So
Me and my Packers.
I would not be accused of that here in the wine.
And with that great transition, why don't you tell us about these wines a little bit more in detail and the Super Tuscan?
Yeah, let's talk about
because I actually don't understand at all how it can be 100% Merlot. Like all I know about Super Tuscans is they don't follow any rules. Is what me and the internet came down to.
You nailed it. And before I do that, I want to apologize to our listening audience for all the sniffling, coughing, sneezing, and everything else. We've got 2 kids upstairs coughing. My wife is coughing. I'm sniffling. Yeah. So sorry about that.
We're a disaster.
It's a winter.
This cold. Yeah.
It's that time of year.
It's 60 degrees in California, but we all have a cold. So that's maybe California's, like, listen, the rest of the country is freezing right now. We're going to give you good weather, but we're going to make you all sick.
Yeah.
So
but you're going to have to stay inside and be
we
sick.
We appreciate you being wine athletes, though, and persevering.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Yeah. Also, don't normally drink all this wine with cold medicine like we are, but we're not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're just going
to tell us about Super Tuscans, my darling.
Yeah, absolutely. So Super Tuscans, it was a rebellious group of winemakers who decided to kind of change things. The Italian government, much like the Italian government, basically sort of mimicked the French government, who had created a system called the AOC. And so the Italian government created a system called the DOC. And what it is it's a denominación de origen controlada. Basically, it's a denomination of origin. And so there's different regions in Italy and different wine growing regions. And the DOC is basically the rules that the government gives each of these regions, So if you want to be part of the DOC and you want to put that on your label, you need to follow the rules. So you need to work with certain varieties, even things such as oak, different types of most of the original DOC Italian wines were using Slovenian oak. Some of these Super Tuscan guys wanted to use French oak. And so things like that. But there were all these rules. And so let's talk about Tuscany in general. Tuscany's a relatively large wine region. Within it has Chianti Classico, Montepulciano, Montalcino, a bunch of different wine regions all within Tuscany. So in each of those areas, they were restricted to different rules, like I said. And so one of the rules in a Chianti, if you wanted to be a Chianti, was you had to use Sangiovese. It had to be, I think it was 80% of your blend. And then they made you use certain white wine grapes in the blend as well, which a lot of folks used them because they were cheaper to farm, cheaper to purchase, et cetera. And so they would kind of almost diminish the quality a little bit of that, what could have been 100% Sangiovese, beautiful wine. And so these rebellious winemakers decided, you know what? I don't care to have the DOC on my label. I like Cabernet Sauvignon, I like Cabernet Franc, I like Merlot, and I want to blend with them. So they started planting them, and Sassicaia actually, what was that? What's their name called? De Guido. I'll look it up. I'll think of it later. But the winery that owns Sassicaia, they were the first ones to plant Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc, and so they bottled a wine that was Cab Sauv Cab Franc, Venuta de Guido. Yeah, that's it. And so they bottled the Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon blend and didn't even use Sangiovese. So they were not allowed to use the DOC label. Their first bottling was 1968. And then into the 70s, there's some of their neighbors. Ornellaia is one of them.
La la.
Yep. And then the Antinori family came up with Tag, what's that other one?
Tig and Yellow?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Tig. Tig and Sass.
Tig and Yellow, yeah. So those are all like the original Super Tuscans, but it caught on, it got popular.
I like
Tig and Sass, man. I sold those wines in 2001.
Yeah.
Tig and Sass.
And I'm doing this all off of memory, so just kind of
like memory from college.
It's beautiful. I love it. Honestly, I'm like, it's so fascinating.
But it's been a while since I've really dug into this to Tuscany, which is kind of fun. I want to go now, but
let's go.
Yeah. But so they were just kind of they were rule breakers. They were kind of thinking outside the box, and so they started planting these Bordeaux varieties. But now, technically, since then, the government has sort of caught on, and they created a new thing called Toscana IGT, which is the Indicación Geográfica Típica. Toscana IGT is synonymous with Super Tuscan. Basically,
okay,
Super Tuscans are Toscana IGT wines. And the government finally, I read it earlier, but I can't remember. But I want to say it was like 83 or something, 1983 or something, when they finally recognized what these guys were doing in the late 60s and throughout the 70s. And they finally said, okay, they gave in and said, okay, we're going to call it Toscana IGT. But it's not as sexy as Super Tuscan. So people refer to them as Super Tuscans. Now the rules are crazy. Like Super Tuscan. I mean, you could be 100% Merlot, which is a wine that we have.
Yeah,
here,
and Massetto, which is one of the most famous wines.
Yeah. What do they call Massetto? The Petrus of Italy?
Yeah, Petrus of Italy, which is 100%.
Yeah.
So, and Petrus, of course, is a very famous 100% Merlot blend, 100% Merlot from France.
From France, yeah. From Pomerol. So what they noticed at this particular vineyard, this Massetto vineyard that's there in the same region, they noticed that there was some clay, quite a bit of clay in the soil. And in Bordeaux, the pebbles, like Sassicaia actually means rocky pebbles. And so the Sassicaia Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon vines grow really well on the rocks, but they noticed that in this particular area, there's a lot of clay in the soil, and so this clay actually is better suited for Merlot. And so Merlot, even here in Napa, does better, grows better with some clay content and things. Oh, wow. So they planted Merlot, and that's why that wine is 100%. The Massetto is 100% Merlot. Yeah. Ornellaia and Massetto, the same company.
One of the reasons that we chose that 100% Merlot Italian wine, just as a kind of a nod to Massetto.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's a quick little history on Tuscany.
That was not very quick.
Yeah. It wasn't too long.
It was awesome. Very concise.
My history of these wines is one of the first distributor job I had was for a big distributor. I was 22 years old. Working for a huge distributor in Washington, D.C. back in the day. And I had all the Italian restaurants in my run, and I would sell them Tig and Sassicaia and Ornellaia and all these incredible wines to Galileo and Etrusco and all these really, really beautiful restaurants and wines. So
that's awesome.
And that was like way back in the day. And I remember
so this kind of bringing you back a little bit.
But it was 100% bringing me back. But I remember selling them to them, and it was like the way that they would price them. It was these big, beautiful Italian restaurants. And these were these like incredible wines. And they would just say, for pricing, they would say, we just add a zero. And I was like, what do you mean? They were like, if you sell it to me for 45, we put on our list for 450 all day long.
Oh my gosh.
We add a zero. That's so
oh my gosh. If anybody, it's not around anymore. If anybody remembers Roberto Dana's Galileo back 25 years ago, drop a comment.
That's so cool.
And what wine?
Yeah,
what
which
wine
one did you spend? Yeah, which one did you pay $450 for?
I never did. Of course, I was like so
no,
poor.
I'm saying like anyone listening, like let us know if you went to Galileo.
Oh yeah, because P.S. they were buying it for $45. But I remember it was they'd always be like it was always Tig, which was the Tig and Yellow, which is why I knew that from that. But Sassicaia, Tig and Yellow, and then it was still very, very hard to get Ornellaia. That was back when it was Mondavi before the Frescobaldi days. So.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love
Oh
y'all's
my gosh,
that,
this is like its
that
own.
history and that info is just so awesome. I mean, it's like it's very like nobody gets that insight. So like it's so
we
special.
certainly don't.
His is like, this is what I learned in school, and mine's like, these are the samples I stole.
Love it.
And I like that we did the domestic red too. Yeah. I like tying the Perry's red wine in there because it also is like a rule breaker, where you don't. it's a Napa Valley red wine. It's not a Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, we use all the Bordeaux varieties in there. It's like a Napa Valley Super Tuscan.
Well, this is what was really fun for me. I learned a lot, as I do with all these episodes, but some of them were like, oh, we know all this. And this we really had to learn because in our house, we drink more Northern Italian wines. We drink more Barolos and Barbarescos and more Nebbiolo grape. And so we were like, I was like, I don't know anything about these. And then Molly starts talking about Sassicaia and Ornellaia. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I know these wines. And then to actually do the research, and it's like, well, wait, of course we know Bordeaux varietals, and of course we know Cabernet, of course we know Merlot. Right. And so it really, the more I learned about these wines, the more I was like, why don't we drink more of these? And so if you're out there and you're like, I don't understand, I don't know what Super Tuscans are, like you definitely do. Like if you've had a Merlot, if you've had a Cabernet, if you've had a Sangiovese, like because there is in a country and a continent that has so many rules when it comes to wine.
Yeah.
They don't have any. And so if you think you don't know Super Tuscans like I did, you do.
Great.
Yeah. Ooh. And I like that they, a lot of these Super Tuscan, the original Super Tuscan producers, they started using French oak barrels, barriques, the normal size French oak barrels that we use a lot here, and they use in Bordeaux and Burgundy. I thought that was cool. Back in the day, a lot of Italian wines were, aged in, like I said, Slovenian oak and other vessels. And so that was also something that was, I thought, I guess it was I don't know what the word is.
I have no idea.
I just think it was
I'm just still thinking about
it. They were like innovative. They were innovative. They were, would you almost even go a touch to like uninhibited or even,
sure.
breaking ranks, right?
Yes,
because
finding all the rules and going right to the edge, and sometimes maybe even crossing over just to try to find a way to have success. Would you say that was okay? Yeah.
Well,
absolutely. And I love that they paid attention to the soil in Bordeaux, like Sassicaia is talking about the pebbles and the rocks. And they knew that Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc grew really well in the Graves and the Haut-Médoc regions. And then they knew that Merlot tends to enjoy more clay soils. And so they decided to plant the Merlot there and the more clay areas in their region. So I just think that's so cool. That's, they were innovative and they were leaders and pioneers.
All right,
pioneers with the words I was looking for.
Pioneers, there it is.
You just teed this next segment up for us perfectly, though, because here's the
I'm excited for this one.
This is what I was referring to before the episode, Keith, where I said, I just hope we're still good friends. It was just too timely. But here's where I want to go, quick little squirrel run. First of all, that's something that I love about wine. So the thought of this process of paying close attention to what you have, what you are, and then figuring out how to optimize it, right? So that applies just as much to world-class winemakers and world-class athletes and even a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, like we're all kind of trying world-class mom
and
stay-at-home mom, wine athlete. Just this idea of like you have to first know yourself to figure out how you can best express what you have to offer. Right. And so I've heard Mason say this a lot of times. And as much as he's going to take every opportunity to dig at, the Patriots dynasties and I don't have the word.
I actually don't dig at them. I appreciate what they've done.
Something that I think you've always really admired about Bill Belichick. And I think you've voiced that this is what you would do if you were a coach. Is he always schemed for what his players were. Like he absolutely brought out the best in what he had. So like, why would you plant anything other than Merlot if you have these clay soils? Like it's what's supposed to be there. And so that takes us to our 2-minute drill.
This is going to be a fun one.
Where we bridged. So here we go. I wrote this down so I wouldn't miss it up. This isn't even ChatGPT. This is all me. And Mason, definitely Mason if you're upset. The Super Tuscans were penalized for breaking the rules by the Italian government by a low-tier designation of Vino di Vola when they first started making their rule-breaking wine. we're going to watch a little clip that we found on old Instagram. And we'd like you to take your 2-minute drill to talk through if you think that Bill Belichick not having the top honor of being a first ballot Hall of Famer, specifically the commentary that Spygate factored into this, is similar to kind of the slight against Super Tuscans in the beginning with this
breaking
kind
rules,
of diminished designation. And then they went on to kind of just ignore it and make world-class wines that became pivotal to their region, to their country, just as Bill Belichick did. As a Patriots fan, is it worth it to break the rules and win? Super Tuscans did and changed the rules for everyone. It could also be a nod to Belichick and Vrabel and that punt thing that forced them to change the rules, just like Super Tuscans forced them to change designations. Here's the clip.
And the tuck rule and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
wait. She's going to play the track.
I got it. And then you guys will have your 2 minutes and we'll see if Mason or I want to throw a timeout in there. Gosh, I'm getting so good at the internet.
About Pro Football Hall of Fame. We should boycott that bad boy. Nobody should show up. Nobody should want to go into that Hall of Fame if Bill Belichick ain't in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. 6 championships as a head coach. 8 overall, 2 as a defensive coordinator. If it's going to be because of Deflategate, are you going to use that excuse to keep Tom Brady out as a first ballot Hall of Famer next?
Good point.
I'm telling you right now, there are certain things that are so egregious, it stinks to the high heavens that you could do something like this to this man. I don't give a damn that he was a bit truculent with the media. I don't care that he wasn't the most inviting person in the world. His credentials are his credentials. In this country, in the world, your resume is supposed to matter. He did it on an elite level. And oh, by the way, remember the whole Spygate thing that was going on? Wasn't it immediately after that they went undefeated for the regular season? And then went to the Super Bowl before losing to the New York Giants. Didn't they go like 17-0 before losing in the Super Bowl? Basically to show the world, oh, y'all think we cheated? We cheat now while we're busting your living ass every day?
I didn't know you said that.
That's what they were doing until they ran into the New York Giants and they were sacking or they were pressuring the hell out of Tom Brady. This is a disgraceful decision. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anybody should want to be in a Hall of Fame because what kind of Hall of Fame do you have if you can find a justification to omitting and keeping out the greatest coach arguably in the history of the sport, who is an 8-time champion? He has to use.
So was it a slight? Was it a slight to keep him out of having that designation of being a first ballot Hall of Famer? Is this similar to the Super Tuscans being shut out of that good designation and then rising to the top? Your 2 minutes start now.
Look at how smug you look.
I am not smug. Stephen A said it for me. I don't have to say much. I mean, Stephen A, he did it.
All right.
Defend
yourself. You just got out of jury duty. Defend yourself.
I did. I agree 100% with him. They're just doing it to snub him. It's like a little slap on the wrist type of thing.
For what? What are they slapping him on the wrist for?
For Deflategate and Spygate. Everything.
Okay. All right.
For the gates.
They're like, no, naughty boy, you didn't follow the rules, you cheated, and so you're not allowed to be on the first ballot. And he'll be on the second, I'm sure. But I agree with everything that Stephen A said.
I mean,
so was he a pioneer? Was he a pioneer? Did he chuck the rules out the window? Did he look at it in a way that everybody else did?
What's he a pioneer for?
I think he pushed the envelope until somebody checked him and caught it, and then he adjusted.
Okay, that's why if you're not cheating, you're not winning, or you're not
right. He was pushing the envelope, like Mason said.
He pushes it to the edge, and again, what they lost in that it was heavy, but $500,000 fine I saw, and they did lose a first round draft pick, which is significant.
Yes,
but Stephen A. saying, they went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl.
Do you think Bill Belichick is mad about this?
No,
do you think he cares?
I don't know if Belichick.
You
I don't think he cares that much. I think he's like, you got to be kidding me. That's ridiculous.
I mean, is he like, I'll just get it on the next round?
It's not the same though. It's not first ballot, the first round.
So it is a real slight. It's a real deal.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
like Italy was kind of like,
they're just punishing.
Congrats. Yep. You just made a new premier wine that's going to make us even more prominent, but we're still going to tell you we don't like
Italian
it.
government did. That's what the Italian government did to these pioneers. They said, no, you're just going to be a Vin di Tavola. You're not going to be a DOC or anything. You're going to be a Vin di Tavola, just a table wine. That's what that means.
When now those wines are
then eventually
the most
they created
famous
that new term called, new classification called Toscana ITG. And they created a few more as well. There's even one called Sassicaia DOC. So it changed. It all changed. Eventually, the government gave in. So, and that was
just
great.
like
that was
the
a good
Hall
thing
of
for
Fame
Italian
will
wine.
give him his own wing. Okay, the half has ended. We're going to go to.
Doesn't care that they were in the first round.
They don't. They don't care. We are going to go ahead and go to our first ad sponsor identification with Kohler, and we'll be back. For us, Kohler isn't just a brand; it's a part of our story. My dad was an exclusive Kohler dealer, so I grew up knowing their commitment to quality and design.
And for me, I helped open Lodge Kohler in Green Bay, and we've celebrated some of our best memories there, like my 40th birthday at Black Wolf Run.
Kohler, Wisconsin and Kohler properties have always been our favorite places to relax, connect, and of course, enjoy great wine together.
So it feels full circle that Kohler Company, boldly innovating for over 150 years, is now part of Crosby's crew, bringing extraordinary moments to everyday life. Cheers to that.
All right, so that was a great first half. I feel like our friendship is right there. Like we wanted to go ahead and do the hot take, but I don't feel like we're fractured. No,
I was expecting way more.
Can I ask a quick question?
Wait, what's your question?
Too hard.
I have a quick question off. It's kind of off cue. Sorry.
Love it.
Mason, did you have a specific pressure that you liked in the ball? Like, did you pay attention to PSI in the ball or anything like that?
I was not allowed to, affect that or change that at all, unlike some other people that had specific
But did you have
things.
one that you liked?
No,
I just wasn't sure if that was a thing.
I did question a lot. So whenever Deflategate happened, I was on the side of, okay, some of these the ones that they specifically checked as well it was during winter. It was cold. And I can tell you for a fact, they pump those balls up in 75 degrees inside and then take them out and don't recheck them. Like, it's just like your car tire. It is going to shrink a little bit. Like, you're going to lose air pressure. There will be an effect to it. So in my opinion, I mean, that Deflategate was a joke to me. I'm like, come on, like, relax, right? But because Tom Brady still has to throw the ball. They still have to run the routes and play the game. Like, what does it matter? But the Spygate side of things is fascinating.
That's a little different.
Because literally, like, as you look deeper into it, Belichick's whole thing, anytime he played a Belichick run team, it was he game plans and adjusts his whole scheme and how he does things to who he's playing. And that was his greatness. And if you think of, he was filming teams and getting all of those things, how do you think he was so good at adjusting his scheme to what other teams did, right? Like, specifically if you have calls. So I think that's probably one of the bigger question marks of why Spygate is
because at that time
deal.
They didn't have microphones in the helmets.
It didn't matter about that. This was, they weren't doing it because you're allowed to try to steal signals across the field in the game.
Yeah. What was that thing you were telling me about?
All that, but like
the quarterback room.
I think they went and they were filming, like Michigan did, filming other teams' signals at other, like, not even while the Patriots were playing them. So that's where the issue came into question.
That's shady, and I love it.
And then you could break it down to baseball too, where they were like banging. The Astros were banging on trash cans, giving signals, stuff like that.
I would
see, if I'm Belichick, I'm like, what? I'm gonna push it until they literally like made me forfeit the playoff games and like don't have a chance at a Super Bowl unless they're going to do that. That's my thing though, is he didn't it wasn't egregious enough by the NFL to strip him of a coaching job and to basically not allow his team a chance to win a Super Bowl. So why would you dock him that as your like the pettiness as a voter and on the committee to say like, well, I don't like that he did that.
You think them being punitive, like that already played out through the NFL?
Out. Like there were infractions. They did an investigation. They gave the ruling on that. If it was, in my mind, if it was egregious enough, they would have suspended him for a year. Sean Payton got suspended.
That's true.
Bill Belichick never got suspended. And I don't know if that's because of Kraft and his relationship there, but it's fascinating.
Well, that is a great take. So now we want to pivot a little bit, and you guys kind of already handled some of what I wanted to talk about now as far as kind of the dynasties or the important players in the Super Tuscan world. We've nicely bridged over to addressing the indisputable fact that the Patriots had the best winning dynasty ever. Like nobody comes close. That's why the commentary is, if he's not in, then who is?
Yankees.
Okay, I'm talking football.
Oh, you're talking football. Okay.
I don't know the other sports. I don't even really know football, but I pay attention more to
Patriots
football.
But
incredible. Now, Mason, we'd like and you to reflect a little bit into the Super Bowl run that the Packers had. Because that was really interesting, but that never felt like a Super Bowl run. And I think the correlation here is that when things don't look the way they're expected to look, but can still end in greatness. Why don't you run through that season a little bit?
I'm wearing my Packers hat, my 2025 Packers hat, so not a throwback. I got my Super Bowl ring, so we're kind of being a little nostalgic, living back in those memories. We actually lost to the Patriots in Foxborough in 2010 on our way to a Super Bowl, which is kind of fascinating. That was the year I hit the squib kick and the offensive lineman ran the ball, almost scored a touchdown. And that was
oh yeah.
It's sad every anniversary of that, having to watch that play happen again. Because first off, I hate squib kicks. I was so mad that we called it. And then for that to happen, I feel like it was just kind of what needed to happen so I could say, I'm never squib kicking the ball again. But
what is squib kicking?
Break it down for Holly.
Holly, squib kick. So normal kickoff, ball goes end over end and goes deep down the field. Squib kick is like a knuckleball. Think like in soccer, like a knuckleball where the ball is kind of floating and moving and gets
usually
on the ground
quick.
Got it.
Is it because you're wanting to avoid a certain returner, or like you don't want the guy who they've picked to field the ball? You don't want the ball in his hands.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that year when we won the Super Bowl was unique. It was not. I mean, it wasn't smooth. It was not a year that it was just like, wow, we are a team to be reckoned with. We are going to go 15-1 and run into the playoffs, and nobody's going to be able to touch us. We had more injuries than any other team in the NFL. I think at some point we had maybe 80 guys on the roster just from injuries and bringing new guys in and all of that. So, but what makes that so special is we just had this resilient team, right? And I love drinking wine because of that as well. Like, it's resilient. Like the vines are strong, and you gotta
doesn't matter if it's a tough year, you're still expected to make a beautiful
making
wine.
We're still doing beautiful, awesome things. So when I look at our 2010 team, that's what we was a team of resilient toughness, like grit. There was no question of our resolve that we were going to show up every game and we were going to lay it all on the line. And fortunately enough, just how it plays out, you go on and you find a path and win a Super Bowl. And I still, to this day, like as another Super Bowl comes, I think about it a little bit, the confetti falling at the end, and
Nolan was 6 months old
with his headphones on coming out on the field, and like the pictures and the moments. I mean, it's beautiful. My parents waiting in the tunnel, as I got to hug them and like celebrate that. So all those things come rushing back, and it's cool being done playing now as I can like really lean into those memories and remember and enjoy them.
But nothing about that season looked right in the sense of like the year the Patriots lost to the Giants. Like that's how you kind of expect a team to storm into the playoffs. I remember the day of the game having to look up who our players were on the field because we had so many new players. And then during the game, didn't Driver go out hurt? Woodson went out hurt.
Yeah. Jordy was banged up, had a hurt knee. We actually had to wait for half our team to fly into Dallas to take our team picture because of ice storms. Because we were like, all these guys on IR, we want them in this picture. Like they're part of this. So we had to wait for them to get there. And that was a mess.
Yeah. I didn't know a fair portion of the roster on the day of the Super Bowl because some of those guys, was it Walden? Am I remembering that correctly? What was his name?
Eric Walden.
The first time they played for the Packers was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we had some first time players in the Super Bowl just from all the injuries. Yeah.
Who was it? Somebody had a baby the morning of.
Yeah.
Down in Dallas.
That was Mimi's last game, wasn't it?
And that was your grandmother's last game.
My grandmother, that was the last game she got to see before she passed away.
Yeah. And it's kind of sweet because Mason's sister is very selfless and kind of always the one to, whatever needs to be done, she's going to do it. And Mimi needed some special accommodations. And Ashley said, you know what? Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just happy to be here. I'll be with Mimi. I'll go wherever she needs to go. And they ended up probably having the best seats of the game.
They had a handicap,
they were like 50 yards.
I mean, it was perfect.
Right down low, and for it to be in Dallas for your family.
That's awesome.
But I loved the tie with the Super Tuscans that sometimes it doesn't look the way you're expected to look, but it can still turn out to be a winner.
That's right.
But it also, or I don't recognize this. I don't know what this is. And then you actually dig in and you're like, oh, wait, I do know what this is. I do recognize these players. Like I honestly did not know that we'd be drinking wines that were Bordeaux varietals.
That's right. Yep.
And I'm also just going to give
come in a lot of different varieties. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Varietals.
I'm gonna brag for a second. So a second ago, our neighbor Julian Fayard, who's also an incredible winemaker, just walked in and gave us a bottle of red wine because I had texted him earlier. He was flying home from Miami, and I was like, "Hey, what do you have for Super Tuscans and red wines from Napa?"
Only
and he
in
literally
Napa.
got home and just like walked into our house like he does and put this down. Did a little dance to make us laugh and walked out. So.
That's what I saw you laughing.
Julian. Yeah, it's because literally somebody just came walking in our house in the middle of this podcast. He did a little dance. I invited him over. He said no. He did another little dance. Gave us a bottle of Le Vin Julien 2023 red wine from Napa Valley, and then walked out. So
I love that.
He's too late. But but I love
it's
him
all
for
just
it, so.
inspiration,
Never
right?
too late.
Just like we were so excited to feature.
I know Keith was like, "Can I open this?"
Like now, just like we were excited to feature Perry's because we're going to be doing a restaurant episode.
Yeah, we want to for sure.
It's good to have those placeholders of what we're going to be doing, but it is interesting whether you end up. We remember the winners, and we also remember the rule breakers. And sometimes you live in both. You live in both camps.
Yep.
It is hard probably to be the people out in front doing it the way that no one's done it before.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
And with that being said, we're ready for your questions. We are to that time.
We got it. I'll start off. Like
I actually
usual,
have another question.
All right. So this one's a little different for Mason. I'm going to change it up and ask a non-wine related question.
Okay.
So think hard. What wine region would you like to visit the most and why? Anywhere in the world. Right now, if you guys could go and either bring the kids or leave the kids with the in-laws or whatever you want. Just what wine region would you like to visit? Yeah.
And my follow-up is, Molly, when are you coming to Napa?
When are we going to Napa? Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, coming and visiting y'all, like what we did last year in December was just the best. I mean, we felt so relaxed, enjoyed every moment of it. So going to that,
now you have the whole world.
Yeah.
I'm going to say going to Italy. And
I would have called foul if you said anything else.
Yeah.
Because that's what you talk about all the time.
I want to go to Italy and I want to, go and explore.
Where in Italy?
I'm probably...
Would you do all of Italy?
If I'm going to Italy, I'm going up. Yeah, I'm going all the way up, like south to the north, and hitting all the different things. I want to experience the whole thing. If I'm going to go over there, I'd probably do that, and then I'd like tune it in for the next one, right? Like I'd kind of dial it in, and be like, all right, I love this. I'm going to go back here, another time.
That's a good answer.
That's great. I love it.
Napa, answer. Holly. Actually, we were just working.
Let's go.
I love that Keith has this fire lit too.
That's right.
Yeah. I know. My question is, do you need a nanny, and when are you coming to Napa?
Oh, that's it. Yes.
Yes, I do. Send help. I
mean, for the trip, not for life.
I mean, I accept both.
Exactly.
We were looking over our schedules and honestly really trying to figure that out. I think at the latest we'll be there in the summer. But we really want to come sooner. The scheduling challenge is that Nolan's soccer season is about to start, which I know you understand better than anybody, but this is our first high school soccer season. He's best. So all in.
Tuesdays, Fridays. Yeah. Busy.
Our games.
Stuff.
Yeah.
We had a game last night. We had a game on
like
Tuesday.
You said, the in-laws are great. And the reason why I'm so happy you chose.
Yeah. We're leaving the kids in Texas in June.
We're gone.
We're planning on probably Washington, and maybe, we'll probably just pop over and see y'all as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
I'm so glad you chose the Perrys, because to me, every wine story for me starts and ends in Napa. Like, I want to know how that connects. Like, explain it to me in terms of Napa wine. Because
you love comparisons. That's how you learn.
I love it.
She does.
Yes.
That's why this Perry's wine made perfect sense.
It made perfect sense because that's how I need to understand it. So we're going to take just a short break and recognize Perlick, our other fantastic sponsor. As we're doing foreshadowing, we can't wait. We're going to be revamping our podcasting space with Perlick appliances, and we're going to be inviting everybody along on that journey. But let's cue to that segment now.
One of the best things about this podcast is how it connects our love of wine with the people and companies who share that passion.
Like Perlick Refrigeration. We first crossed paths through Mason's work with Sartori Cheese and Make-A-Wish, where Mason met Jeff Schwager, who's now on Perlick's board and an investor in one of our favorite Napa wineries, Ovid.
Perlick has been setting the standard for wine storage for over a century, and their wine refrigeration is second to none, because great wine deserves perfect care.
We're proud to have Perlick as part of Crosby's crew, keeping our wine at the perfect temp, from the first pour to the last drop.
All right, so we're into our final 2-minute drill. I'm going to go ahead and set my little stopwatch, because we're all about that 2-minute drill and that 2-minute warning. And
That's where
so
all the magic happens.
We're going to keep it on the clock. Keith and Holly, we would like to know what you were eating with your wine. We went ahead and had a little bit of some different pairings. We went to Little Hats. It's a place that started up in Germantown and Nashville and is now down near us in Cool Springs. And we did a chicken Parmesan sub sandwich. We did a bolognese rigatoni. That was actually kind of lighter than I expected.
Really good too.
That's what I had in mind for the sassiacaya. I love saying that word. And then we went ahead and did a filet with a Tuscan kale salad.
What?
That we had in mind.
I thought I was jealous of the wine. Now I'm jealous of the food.
I'm super advanced with Uber Eats. Those are the foods.
And Mason, go get the food.
He's such a great husband and podcast
She's
partner.
like, go pick this up. Go get this. Go get that. I was like, all right.
And pick up the
You're
Perry's.
amazing. And pick up the so we will be picking wine and who's going to win the Super Bowl.
All right. Let's roll.
And we might throw
Elizabeth has a soccer game, so we're on the clock.
Yeah, we're on the clock. We'd also like to know if you feel like sharing what you'll be eating during the Super Bowl and what you'll be drinking. Does anybody feel ready to go first?
I'm happy to.
All right, we're gonna go.
Okay,
we're gonna go
wine
Mason
and who's gonna win?
Wine. Who's gonna win and what you're gonna eat? We're gonna go Mason, Keith, and then I'll look at Holly and see if she wants to go or not, and the women will end. On your mark, get set, Mason, go.
I loved the Sassicaia. I love the Perry's Big Red. Like that, those were amazing and so uniquely different. So it's kind of hard to say this was the one I loved the most. I feel like those are tied, but so different. Seconds. I'm gonna go Sassicaia, and I'm gonna go with that chicken parm sandwich was amazing. And I'm not sure if those pair together, but it was fantastic.
But who's winning the Super Bowl?
I think the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl.
Do you want to give a point spread?
Oh, wait,
I think it's going to be.
It's another bird.
28-20.
All right, your time is up, Keith.
All right, I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Very funny, very funny.
Oh,
Never.
No, I am not. No, I am not.
His mother
I'm going to go with the
PATS,
Pats, and I'm going to go with the Perry's Big Red wine. So there's my answers right there.
And what are you gonna eat while you're watching the game? Shucking some oysters?
So much. I fly back from Arizona that morning. I should be home by 2.
Going to a basketball game.
I'm going to go watch the first place Wildcats play against, I think it's Oklahoma State.
Nice.
Oklahoma State.
A little boys trip.
Love it.
There you go.
A couple buddies meeting there. So, so I'll get home by 2 or something. I'll run down to Browns Valley Market right down the street. I'll get probably some sliders. They do these chicken, cheese and bacon sliders. Is that what I was trying to say?
Yeah.
Cheddar bacon sliders. That's what I was trying to say. So I'll cook some of those on the grill.
Wait, the last time the Patriots were in the
wings.
Super Bowl, you made your famous clam chowder.
I'll probably make chowder. I don't think I'll have time though.
Chowder with a Bud Light.
Chowder.
Yeah. Now I'll do buffalo wings, just all kinds of snacks. Probably a big old nacho
All right,
plate.
your time is up.
I'm done.
We are.
Your time is up.
We knew this about you.
I'll go. For me, and I keep forgetting our whiteboards, which are literally just in a shelf over there. It was Perry's for me all day, every day. I'm a fan. It's just Keith Emerson wines. I like the Sassicaia a lot, but I had to have it with the rigatoni to love it. The Perry's
If we did the
Big Red
same
blend
thing in 20 years, you would hope. I mean, Perry's is built to last, but it's also built to be drunk now, and Sassicaia is built to last for reals.
Do you think we'll ever?
All right, let's do this again in 20 years. And see what.
There we go.
I am choosing the Patriots, and I'm going to give a shout out to Emily and Mike Smith. So Mike Smith was a linebacker coach for the Packers and lived in our neighborhood. They were so kind and great to our children always. We stay in touch some, and he's a coach for the Patriots now, and I want him to get his ring.
Honestly,
deserves it.
both the general managers for both the teams are former Packer personnel guys. So
way to make it about you,
Wolf and Schneider. No, I mean, these are just whoever wins. It's a Packer win. That's fine.
All right, Holly. Oh, and for the game, I'll be in Orlando at Cheerleading Nationals. So I don't know what I'm going to be eating, but I'll probably be alone watching it because I'll be the only one at this cheerleading competition that cares.
No way.
You'll be with other
That's
moms.
not true. You'll
be with other moms, and you'll find somewhere that has margaritas. I love my soccer moms for their margaritas, hydration stations, margaritas. Absolutely. Okay, my turn. For the win, I choose my marriage. So therefore the Pats and Perry's. For my wine, I choose Perry's. And man, we haven't tasted this wine since we bottled it. You know, you kind of put it to bed a little bit. And normally that's when Keith sort of forgets about it, not forgets about it, but moves on to the next one. And I'm the one that sells it. But since this is a private label just in Perry's, it's not one that I'm out selling. So I haven't had it since it's had some time in bottle since the spring when we bottled it.
Good.
And it's
so good.
Delicious. And I'm thrilled. So really, really fun to have this and see the connection again to Super Tuscans. It seems, if you would have told me, hey, we're going to do a Super Tuscan episode and you're going to bring a red wine blend from Napa, I wouldn't have understood. But after all my research, I was like, oh yeah, this makes sense. So
this makes sense.
Well, Perry's.
Let's raise our glass one last time. Whether it's wine or football, the biggest moments belong to those willing to play on the biggest stages. So
cheers.
Till next time.
Love it.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, crew. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Who you share it with.
Well, that's it for this pour. Thanks for spending time with Crosby's crew. If you tried one or all of the wines from today's episode, we want to hear about it. Head to our socials and let us know which one was your favorite and why.
Curious about what we're tasting next? Check the lineup and send us your questions. We'll be answering them in the upcoming episodes. Nothing's too nerdy or too simple. If you're wondering, someone else is probably wondering too.
And hey, before you go, just a reminder that drinking and driving is never okay. Please enjoy wine responsibly. Always have a designated driver lined up before the bottles open and consume in moderation.
Until next time, cheers from the crew.